Welcome back to Cinecrunch Recaps. Today, we're delving into the epic and thought-provoking story of The Last Duel, directed by Ridley Scott, set in 14th century France. This historical drama explores themes of power, honor, betrayal, and justice. But beyond the swords and armor, this film gives us a rare glimpse into the lives of those often overlooked by history, particularly women like Marguerite de Carouge, whose courage in the face of overwhelming odds lies at the heart of this story. The stage is set for the final, bloody duel between the former friends, Jean de Carouge, a battle-hardened knight, and Jacques Legris, a cunning and charismatic squire. This isn't just a fight for honor, it's a fight for truth. At stake is the life of Jean's wife, Marguerite, who has accused Jacques of a heinous crime, rape. If Jean loses the duel, not only will his own life be forfeit, but Marguerite will be burned at the stake for making a false accusation. But how did things get to this point? To understand the weight of this duel, we need to go back to where it all began. Jean de Carouge and Jacques Legris weren't always enemies. In fact, they began as comrades, fighting together on the battlefield. Jean, a courageous but gruff knight, was known for his loyalty and bravery, though his temper and lack of political savvy often worked against him. Meanwhile, Jacques, a man of sharp intellect and undeniable charm, quickly became a favorite in the court of Count Pierre de Lincoln, played by Ben Affleck. The rift between Jean and Jacques begins when Jacques' rise to prominence eclipses Jean's own ambitions. Despite his loyalty to the crown and his years of service, Jean finds himself repeatedly passed over for rewards and titles. One of the most painful blows comes when Jacques is granted a valuable piece of land that Jean believes should have been his by right. For Jean, this isn't just a matter of lost property. It's a blow to his honor, his family's future, and his sense of justice. The seeds of bitterness are planted, and what was once a friendship begins to unravel. Jean's marriage to Marguerite de Thébouville, portrayed by Jodie Comer, was intended to elevate his status and secure his family's future. Marguerite comes from a noble but financially struggling family, and the marriage was a strategic move for both families. However, it quickly becomes clear that Marguerite is more than just a political pawn. She's intelligent, strong-willed, and unafraid to speak her mind, qualities that will become crucial as the story unfolds. Jean, often away on military campaigns, leaves Marguerite to manage their estate. While Jean is a fierce warrior, he's not the most attentive or affectionate husband. His constant need to prove his worth on the battlefield leaves Marguerite feeling neglected and alone. But she takes on her duties with diligence, managing the estate and even growing the family's wealth. This sense of independence, however, makes her vulnerable in a world where women are seen as property and their voices rarely matter. And it's during one of Jean's absences that the central tragedy of the film takes place. One day, while Jean is away, Jacques Legris visits the Carouge estate. He claims to be visiting on a matter of business, but his true intentions are far more sinister. In one of the most disturbing scenes of the film, Jacques forces himself on Marguerite, leaving her traumatized and fearing for her life. This moment of violence will forever alter the lives of everyone involved. What makes Marguerite's story so compelling is her decision to speak out. In medieval France, a woman accusing a man of rape was virtually unheard of. The social and legal structures of the time were stacked against her. But Marguerite, determined to seek justice, tells Jean about the assault, setting in motion the events that will lead to the duel. Jean, outraged and humiliated, immediately believes his wife. For him, this is not just about Marguerite's honor, it's also an opportunity to reclaim his own standing by challenging the man who has taken so much from him. One of the most fascinating aspects of The Last Duel is its narrative structure. The film presents the events from three distinct perspectives: Jean's, Jacques, and Marguerite's, Each perspective sheds light on how differently the characters view the same events and how memory and ego can distort the truth. From Zhang's perspective, he is a wronged man and noble knight who has been betrayed by his friend and must defend his wife's honor. In his version, Jacques is a villain, a coward who deserves to be punished for his crimes. Zhang sees himself as the hero of this story, a man fighting for justice. Jacques, on the other hand, sees the events quite differently. In his eyes, Marguerite welcomed his advances. He believes that she was complicit in the act and that her accusation is a lie driven by Zhang's jealousy. Jacques sees himself as a victim of a political and personal vendetta, and he refuses to acknowledge the pain he caused. Finally, we see the truth through Marguerite's eyes. Her account of the assault is stark, brutal, and heart-wrenching. In this version, we understand the full scope of the trauma she endured and the courage it took for her to speak out in a world that would rather silence her. The accusation leads to a trial, but the outcome seems almost preordained. Jacques is favored by Count Pierre, and the court is filled with men who doubt Marguerite's story. Desperate for justice, Zhang demands a trial by combat, a duel to the death to prove whose side God is on. This will be the last legally sanctioned duel in French history, and the stakes couldn't be higher. If Zhang loses, not only will he die, but Marguerite will be executed for bearing false witness. As the duel approaches, the tension is unbearable. Zhang and Jacques are both seasoned warriors, and the outcome is far from certain. Ridley Scott's direction captures every detail of this brutal, medieval showdown: the clanging of swords, the heavy breathing of the knights, and the terrified anticipation of the crowd. For Marguerite, this is not a spectacle, it's a matter of life and death. Her future, and the future of her unborn child, depend on the outcome of this fight. She watches in horror as her fate is determined by the brutal clash of two men. The duel is a fierce, bloody contest, with both men sustaining serious injuries. The choreography of the fight is raw and brutal, reflecting the sheer physicality and desperation of the combatants. In the end, it is Zhang who gains the upper hand. He delivers the killing blow to Jacques, sealing his fate. As Jacques lies dying, gasping for breath, the crowd erupts in cheers. Zhang stands victorious, and Marguerite's life is spared. But as the dust settles, we're left to wonder, was this truly justice? Though Zhang wins the duel, the question of justice remains. Was Jacques' death truly proof of his guilt, or merely the result of Zhang's superior strength? Marguerite survives, but her victory feels hollow. She may have escaped the fire, but the system that almost destroyed her remains intact. The film leaves us with a powerful reflection on the nature of truth and power, reminding us that, while justice may have been served, it was only through the violent whims of men. In The Last Duel, Ridley Scott gives us more than just a historical epic. He offers a powerful meditation on the struggles women have faced for centuries in having their voices heard. The film's layered narrative, compelling performances, and brutal depiction of medieval justice remind us that the fight for truth and justice is a timeless one. Thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe to Cinecrunch Recaps for more deep dives into your favorite films. Until next time, remember, history may be written by the victors, but the truth is often far more complex.